The attic smelled of old wood and forgotten time. It was a place I had always loved, filled with Grandpa Leo's stories. After he was gone, the attic felt emptier, the dust heavier. My parents said sorting through his things would help me say goodbye, but it felt like trespassing. Each box was a chapter of his life, each object a memory. I searched for him in the things he left behind. Fishing lures, old paperbacks, relics of a life I thought I knew. Then I found a small, dark wooden box hidden beneath yellowed newspapers. I'd never seen it before. It felt secret, humming with a silence louder than any story he'd told. My hands trembled as I lifted it onto my lap. Part of me wanted to leave it, to keep my memory of Grandpa simple. But curiosity won. I had to open it. For him, for me. I took a deep breath and lifted the lid. Inside, the story was about to change. The past was waiting, silent and patient, and I was ready to listen. Inside the box, just a photograph and a folded letter. The photo showed a young man in a soldier's uniform. He looked like Grandpa but wasn't. On the back, Marek, 1943. The letter was in German, a language Grandpa claimed he didn't know. I translated it, line by line. "Leo, you must take my name, take my papers, forget Marek, live for both of us, be the good man I could not be." The truth hit me. Grandpa Leo wasn't who I thought. Was he Marek? Or had he taken Marek's name? Every memory of him shifted, uncertain. Was his kindness real or a mask? The secret was a splinter under my skin. The man I loved was suddenly a stranger with a past hidden in war and silence. I needed to know what Marek had done. I needed to know who my grandfather truly was. The attic was quiet, but my mind was loud with questions. The letter whispered, "Forget Marek." But I couldn't. My search for answers led me to the library, digging through records and archives. Grandpa Leo's papers were spotless. Immigration, birth certificate, all in order. But the letter said otherwise. I searched for Marek Schmidt, and found him. Not in birth records, but on a list of German soldiers in a notorious 1-2 unit. The unit was infamous for its brutality. Was this the man in the photo? Was this the name Grandpa carried? The thought was unbearable. I reached out to a historian, desperate for clarity. He warned me. Records from that era are messy, the truth rarely simple. People did what they had to do to survive. Still, the darkness in Marek's history haunted me. I stared at Grandpa's old photos, searching for answers in his eyes. All I saw was the man I loved. The contradiction tore at me. I needed the truth, no matter how painful. The historian called with new information. There were 2 Schmidt brothers, Leo and Marek. Marek, the older, was conscripted into the brutal unit. Leo, my grandfather, was sent to a labor camp. After the war, the brothers reunited in ruins. Marek, broken by guilt, gave Leo his clean identity papers. He urged Leo to flee to live a life Marek felt unworthy of. Be the good man I could not be. My grandfather didn't steal a name to hide his crimes, he carried his brother's hope. He built a new life, honoring Marek's wish. The weight he bore was immense love loss, and a secret that shaped our family. Marek vanished into history, a ghost. My grandfather lived with the sorrow and the gift of a second chance. The truth was tragic, but it was also an act of love. The story was not of guilt, but of sacrifice, and I finally understood. Back in the attic, I held the box, the photo, and the letter. They were no longer symbols of a lie, but of love and sacrifice. My grandfather was not a simple hero or a villain. He was a man who made an impossible choice in a terrible time. He carried his brother's past and built a future of kindness. His goodness was a choice, a rebellion against darkness. The secret didn't shatter my image of him, it deepened it. History is made of stories like his, complicated human real. There are no simple heroes or villains, only people trying to survive. I placed the photo and letter back in the box. I wouldn't hide them again. This was part of our story now. The truth was hard, but it brought hope. In understanding him, I understood myself a little better.